Assalamualaikum. Hello, Annyeong. My name is Fatin Rakmal binti Muhammad Ainit from IC2203C.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Aizati Nafisa binti Naja from class IC2203C.
The movie that we are going to present is The Assistant. The Assistant is a movie about Jen, who is a recent college graduate and aspiring film producer, just landed her dream job as a junior assistant to a powerful entertainment mogul. And her day is much like any other assistant, such as making a cup of coffee, ordering lunch, arranging travel accommodations, and taking phone messages. But as Jen follows her daily routine, she grows increasingly aware of the abuse that insidiously colors every aspect of her day, an accumulation of degradations against which she decides to take a stand.
Now, what did you say to her? What did you say? What the fuck did you say to her? You're fucking your head with this bullshit. It's not your job. Somehow.
Hey, how'd it go?
They told me you were smart.
Okay, so from the video, it shows that Jen's boss called her and yelled to her just because Jen was answered call from his wife. The word that was used by her boss is really rude and inappropriate. So basically, her boss was speak to her using vulgar language and also bring privacy issues to the workplace. This is really not a professional behavior because as a boss, he must to show a good attitude to his employee. This is because a boss itself is a role model to all his staffs. So by showing a bad side of him is not appropriate for his employee. This attitude may causes a disrespectful between the employee and the boss, and it also may affect the relationship between them. So as a boss, he must to show a good behavior in front of his employee and be a good role model so that all of his employees may have some respect toward him, and he also must not to bring a privacy issues into the workplace and put a blame on his employees because of his own personal issues.
This is turkey. I said chicken. Forget it.
From that video, it shows that Jane was buying lunch for her office mate, but not even one of them say thank you to Jane. And it is getting worse when one of her office mate was complain about the food that Jane gave to him. So basically, from that scene, it shows a disrespecting among colleagues, and this is really not a good behavior and must to be avoided among colleagues. As a colleagues, we must to appreciate everything that was have done by our teams. And based on that situation, it may causes a negative impacts such as depression, isolation, and self-doubt. So, Jen must have a courage to speak to her friends about what has bothered her, such as their attitude maybe toward her, so that she will not have a misunderstanding between her friends at her workplace.
Two scenes.
In the flashback?
Gone, right?
I wouldn't sit there.
Never sit on the couch.
So, from the scene, we can see that there are a few employees who came to the meeting room, and after that, one of them said, I would never sit there, and the other one said, never sit on the couch, and start laughing to each other. So, based on that situation, it shows a group of employees who are talking behind and make a joke about their boss, and this is really an inappropriate attitude that actually must to avoid among the employees because it is not shows a professional behavior at a workplace. It is because at the workplace we should not say a bad word either to our friends or our boss because it will change a perspective of that person. So this situation may causes a low self-esteem whereas they often feel incompetent, unloved and inadequate, and people who struggle with low self-esteem are consistently afraid about making a mistake and letting other people down. So the best way to avoid this thing before it going to be worse, if there are any of our friends say something bad about our boss or even our friends, we must to advise them well so that they will be aware of the mistakes that they have made.
Alright, now we go to positive aspect in cricket video.
Suffocate Jane and the audience. Its goal isn't to just bore you, although given the immersiveness, some boredom may be intentional. It's about the exhaustion itself. The film isn't like what.
For critical incident 1, consideration for professional interaction, which is praising. In this video, Boss Jane accepts an apology from Jane and he praised Jane is actually as a good employee and he does it to make her a great person. Praising actually express something for good. In this case, Jane's boss sees Jane doing her job very well and she was a good employee. The praise given by Jane's boss will make Jane more motivated to do her job and will produce something good for her boss and the company overall. Every bosses need to praise the reputation and potential of their employees. This is because the praise given will be as a symbolic spirit for them to work hard in advancing the company.
I overreacted.
It was not my place to question your decisions.
Yeah, good, that's good.
I appreciate the continued opportunity to work with you.
For critical incident 2, consideration for professional interaction, which is apologizing for mistakes. After getting a call from her boss, it shows that the boss is angry at Jane's action because Jane want to file a report about his behavior. Jane emailed her boss an apology letter and her colleagues helped her. Apologizing to superiors is uncomfortable and embarrassing, but by apologizing can show that we are a respectful person and admit to the wrong done. In this case, when Jane apologized to her boss, it shows that Jane is not proud of the mistakes she made as well as she will never repeat it again. This will make Jane's relationship with her boss will improve and it will be comfortable. Every offense committed but be immediately apologized regardless of superiors or ordinary employees. This will further strengthen the relationship between the boss and the employees and will also make comfortable to work together.
Whatever it is. Let's make it official. Call it a complaint. Let's assume I were to do the disservice of writing it up for you. So your complaint is as follows. The company hires a new assistant.
For critical incident 3, consideration for professional interaction, which is complaining and problem solving. Jane is very concerned about what is happening to Sina. She decides to go to human resources to file the report, but the head of human resources deliberately turn a blind eye to the report because jealous. Complaining about the harassment received is one of the things that need to be highlighted because to protect the workers' right and problem solving is to refer to the complaints received and need to resolve the issue. If Jane does not report to human resources and HR not take any action or punishment on the complaint, it will cause problems in the office on attitude of the employees and the harassment will continue unabated. To make verbal complaint, Jane should have done the report in more detail such as writing letter, email letter, showing evidence to open human resources eyes so that the action will be taken. For the human resources, they need to listen carefully and take action on complaints to protect employees from being accused without any solid evidence. For the conclusion, first, there are many lessons we can learn from this video excerpt in terms of professional and unprofessional attitudes in the workplace. This video excerpt emphasizes the importance of praising, apologizing for mistakes, complaint and problem solving, speak vulgar language and bring privacy issues to the workplace, disrespecting among office mates and the employee who badmouth their boss. The third is, this issue not only affects the relationship between colleagues, but it also teaches us to be professional and respect each other at workplace.